We are so close to being done. And that's good, because I have to leave in a week. Welcome back to the Scale Builders Guild. Thanks again for watching. It's episode 6 of Road to the Scale Nationals, and I have a smile on my face because we're almost there. I mean, I'm almost there. The trucks are nearly there. There's still a few things left to accomplish, but I'm pretty happy with the progress so far, and I've made some final decisions, and I've got a lot of weathering done on the Jelly Bean, and there's just a few tiny details left to do, and then we're done, and we're off. Yeah, what can I say? Class 3, completely done. It's ready to go. I might actually put it in a box tonight and ship it to Josh, because I'm gonna have a lot of trucks to take with me. 2 in the new Pelican 1637 that I picked up, and I'll put a link down below in case you're interested in also having a Pelican suitcase. It's actually a really nice case. It has the pick and pull foam in 4 different levels, so you can really create a nice secure space for at least 2 trucks. Originally I thought I could get 3 in there. 3 might be pushing it, so we're gonna limit it to 2. I'm actually just taking a 4th truck just to have some fun on the trails when I'm not competing. And I should have tons of time for that because I'm also emceeing the event with Josh and competing in all 3 classes, so there should be lots of downtime, obviously. Let's quickly go over class 1. The Marlin crawler's all ready to go. You'll notice that there is 1 tire here and wheel combination. I'm still trying to decide what I want to do, but I think I might stick with tried and true on the Pro lines with the incision wheels. I found that it actually just tucks a little bit better than the KMCs that are on there. So just to make sure I'm getting the full proper tuck without having to add any fender flares, I might keep the incision wheels because they are working so much better. I'm really towing the line of what is legal, and I don't want anyone to question or judge this inappropriately and then deem it not legal. So, you know, I'd rather stay barely legal. Anyway, we've got everything done. Lights are installed, tested, everything's working. I decided to stick with the brushed motor. I think I'll bring the brushless system just in case. I'll do some testing on the rocks before we actually start the competition. That way I kind of have a better idea of whether or not that brush motor is going to hold up. It's all because of the extreme overdrive, the 40% overdrive. And if you're trail trucking this, you'll melt the motor for sure. But in a comp, I mean, you're only running it for like, what, 8 minutes total? So I'm not really super overly concerned, but I do note that it does smell a bit melty already. So I might be pushing my luck on that, and that's why I want to have a backup just in case. All right, class 1 scale points. And for class 1, there is a maximum of 60 scale points at this SORRCA event, which is a lot. There's 50 for class 2 and 50 for class 3 as well. So let's go over those scale points together and we'll calculate as we go. I'm gonna start right from the beginning. This is a full hard body, so that gives you -12. The drop bed is a minimum of 1.25 inches deep from top of beds to the side of either floor, so that's -3. It does have inner fenders, so that's another point. It has a roll bar on the back and it's metal, so that's 2 points. It has metal sliders on both sides and they are metal, so we get 3 points per pair. It does have metal bumpers front and rear, so another 3 points. There is a stinger on that front bumper, so that gives me an additional scale point. It has a full interior, which includes a dashboard, seat, steering wheel, and complete floor. The interior must be deep enough for a scale figure up to the knees, which I've also got. There is only 1 seat, it's a bench seat, so I get 3 points for that interior. I also get 3 points for a knees up driver. It has leaf springs on both axles, so that's 7 additional scale points. Chassis mounted servo gives me 5 points. Functioning transfer case gives me another 4. And now onto the scale accessories, non-functional. There is a propane tank. There is a hubs on all 4 wheels. There are wipers, 2 of them. There is an antenna. There is a CB radio. And we can also add one of the GoPro or one of the hard cases that I've got in the back. I've also got little GoPro cameras. There are a ton of additional non-functional scale points on this truck, so we'll call it all 6, so that's 6 points total. And I only need 7 more points. I've already got a spare tire, so that gives me an additional 3 scale points. So I only really need 4 functional scale points, and I've got a winch, and I've got headlights and taillights, so that's 4 right there. So this truck points out at 60 points, not even counting all the actual accessories. So that's a really good number, really easy to get. Didn't have to work too hard because of leaf springs. That 7 points really does add up. Full hard body, of course, gives you a lot of points as well. And it's just a nicely detailed, well thought out truck that actually does not terribly. So it'll be fun to get this one out on the rocks. I'm really looking forward to that. If you caught the live stream earlier this week, Sunday in fact, I went over most of the details of Class 3 and the new Vanquish Capra width portal axles that I've installed on the truck. I've also gone to the shorter Pitbull Braven Berserker 5.12 inch 2.2 tire. This was the perfect tire dimension for the look of this truck. Anything larger than that just looked wrong. It didn't really seem accurate. It seemed way out of proportion. I had 2.2 Hyraxes on there, and it was way too high. No pun intended. Anyway, this truck is really kind of done, and I didn't have to do very much to it because the Ripper was already in great shape and already in great running condition, so it was really just a matter of swapping the axles, putting new wheels and tires on, and calling it a day. It's not going to be a huge point getter, only because it's kind of stock and I didn't take a lot of time and effort into doing a lot of the scale point stuff, but it does tally up not shabbily. I should be pointing out, and I mean that's sort of the goal of every scale competition, is you want to make sure you've got all the scale points, so it kind of gives you that tactical advantage when you drive and drive poorly, like I probably will. But anyway, this truck's looking really good. It's all complete. I did have to do a little bit of subtle modification to the links up front in order to make the axle work. Because this is the older SCX-10-2 chassis, and it's not like a Vanquish chassis or a high clearance chassis, there's not a lot of travel, so it is set up kind of riding on the actual lowest bit of the suspension. And also the links had to be bent pretty dramatically in order to get it to fit under those rails. That said, everything is working, there's no binding, the dig is set up, everything's solid, and these Capra width axles are amazing. They are the perfect blend of performance, clearance, and width for a Class 3 truck. So I'm really, really happy to have these on here. It was awesome of Vanquish to send them out before the actual release, so I could get them on the truck and ready for competition. So really keen to have them. Really excited about this truck. We're gonna have to wait on a tally for Class 3. There are some questions I have about the Ripper, and I need to ask a SORRCA official to make sure that it actually fits into either the tuber category or the hardbody category. It's running a full rail chassis, so I'm not entirely sure which is which. So yeah, I mean, if you've got an idea, of course, post your comments down below. I would actually really love your feedback on this. But you know what? It's done. At least I can say that. So Class 2, we're gonna hold off on that one. There's a bunch more detail work I wanna get done before I do a final video on that truck. But that will be coming very shortly, as it has to, because this competition is days away. I'm very much looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a great time, and I cannot wait to see everybody there and have some fun on the rocks. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Of course, if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you get updates anytime there's a new video from the Scale Builders Guild. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you again soon.